Hi guys, welcome back to Amalgamated Moi, and welcome to episode 5 of creating my ideal Smash Brothers game. Today I decided to take a break from our roster of characters and focus on another set of characters, the assist trophies. A review if you haven't seen the other episodes. I'll only be considering series that I knew about outside of Smash Brothers. Now, for these assists, some of these are characters that didn't make it to the roster, don't really make a good fighter, or are some of the series that I never considered while making the roster. Starting us off is Birdo. Birdo will operate essentially the same way she did in Super Mario Bros. 2, occasionally shooting egg projectiles across the stage, and if they are reflected back at her or she is hit by another projectile, she can be KO'd. The second and final Mario assist is Hammer Brother. Another projectile-based assist trophy, Hammer Brother will work similarly to how he does in Smash Ultimate, throwing hammers in an arc across the stage. Breath of the Wild's Urbosa, unlike our first two assist trophies, is unkillable. I imagine she would work similarly to how Togedemaru works in Smash Bros. Ultimate, creating an area of effect using Urbosa's Fury and electrocuting any fighter in that area. Miitopia's Great Sage, another area of effect assist, will cast the spell Tower of Flame in a highlighted location. Sonic the Hedgehog gets two assist trophies, the first being Shadow. He will dash around the stage, damaging any fighter he makes contact with. A pretty straightforward assist trophy. Dr. Eggman will hop into his Eggmobile, fire a few shots at the closest fighter, and if KO'd, he would crash land with a small explosion that would damage fighters caught in the blast. These next three might be a surprise, as I've removed Pokeballs as their own item. I've instead just grouped all the Pokemon assists with the rest of the series. So first is Timber, who will run around the stage hitting fighters with his plank of wood. Dodrio, the second Pokemon, targets a specific fighter, running them down and repeatedly stabbing them with one of their heads. And the final Pokemon, Stunfisk, will shoot a bolt of lightning in a straight line and damage and stun the fighters that it hits. Animal Crossing gets Flick. He will grab a fighter with his net and damage them. Flick won't disappear until the fighter mashes out, after a certain amount of time, or if Flick is KO'd by another fighter. Minecraft is the final series to get two assists. The Iron Golem is the first. It will lock onto a player and rush at them, flinging them into the air and doing a heavy amount of damage. The second is the Warden. This is a stationary assist trophy that will target the first player to make an attack while it is in play, including the player to have summoned them, blasting the player with a Sonic Shriek, or disappearing after it hears nothing for some time, creating a possible stop to a lot of combo possibilities. Onto the series who are new to Smash, but not new to this theoretical game. Phosphor from Immortals Phoenix Rising will operate similarly to Latios and Latios, flying rapidly across the stage dealing damage to anyone it hits. Bubble Bobble 4 Friends final boss, Bonner, will use his dual laser spin around and ruin your entire day attack. This one obviously would have to be a bit more rare, given its power, but it is still avoidable by jumping over the lasers, using your up special, or an air dodge. Lost in Random's Seymour will fall out of the sky just as he does when Even and Dicey first meet him in the game, dealing damage to anyone under him who hits the ground. And if it's not too gruesome, his smaller eyes could pop out on impact and be used as projectiles. Civilization 6 is a tricky series to do anything for, but we're gonna go with Gilgamesh. He will jump in his war cart, Sumeria's exclusive unit, and charge forward across the stage, dealing damage. Phasmophobia is another interesting one, where I wanted to do multiple ghosts as types of assists, or just a ghost that could operate in a bunch of different ways, and you'd have to figure it out, just like the game. But instead I just went with the Deogen, which will pick a target and slowly walk toward them. Easy enough to avoid, but if it touches you, you'll either instantly die, or if that's too much, you'll take a lot, and I mean a lot of damage. Because let's be real, if you know it's a Dio and you still get got, that's on you. Here's one I wasn't entirely sure how to visually differentiate from the fighter, Imposter. Given they look exactly like crewmates, they could have their mouth always open, chase down a fighter, and impale them, dealing damage. Next is Newt from Prodigy. He will follow the player who summoned him around and block all damage for the next few seconds before disappearing. Repo's Apex Predator is another one to pick a target and follow them around for a while, before either getting bored and disappearing, or getting hit and absolutely destroying the player to have hit it. And the final series, with representation already in the game, Google Doodles with the Ghost Pepper from Dr. Scoville's 151st birthday. Rushing down the closest player and dealing a good chunk of damage, this one, like the Metroid and Smash Ultimate, can only be KO'd through an ice attack, either with characters like Samus or Zelda, who have given ice abilities in their moveset, which I'll get to in another video, or items like the Ice Rod, which is also for another video. And here we introduce 6 new series, 5 if you count one towards an already existing series. Starting with the Internaut from Interland, not a Google Doodle representative, but kind of is in spirit. He would come in 4 different colors, red, blue, green, and yellow, depending on the action they would perform, essentially creating 4 assist trophies in one. The red one would pull a pillar out of the ground as a reference to Reality River, the blue one would hold up a laser emitter from the Share with Care level, and shoot it across the stage, dealing damage to anyone caught in the beam's path. The yellow one would reference the Tower of Treasure by dashing around the stage and dealing damage with an impact run effect. And the green one would use the Kind Messages from Kind Kingdom, and if one made contact, it would make a small explosion. The next assist is a Final Fantasy Mystic Quest character. Well, not a character, but an enemy. The Desert Hag would walk around the stage swatting at fighters and dealing damage. It can be KO'd and takes double damage if hit with a fiery attack. With Hogwarts Legacy, another final boss has made it to the roster as an assist trophy, Ranrock. Ranrock will use his corrupted ancient magic to strike a player with lightning, dealing a lot of damage, but he is easy to KO. As was alluded to at the start of the video, the Antlion from Peak. This massive insect's head will poke out of the ground, and any player close enough will slowly get pulled toward it, be bitten, and take a lot of damage. Then the Antlion will burrow back into the stage and disappear. The Centaur from Wrath Unleashed will run forward, swing attacks, and deal damage. Fairly straightforward. And the final assist, the Pelican from Goose Goose Duck. A player character from Goose Goose Duck will run around and swallow a fighter, dealing damage until they either spit them out, or the player is able to mash out. And there you have it, the assist trophies for my ideal Smash Bros. Game. Let me know what you think in the comments below about these assists, and whether you'd like to see the items or moveset video next. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye!